Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. What a change.
For a change.
For a change. But this is the only truth. The change is the only truth in the entire planet, right? And first of all, we should be very grateful to our Masters Union location. And thanks to all the people involved in finding out this schedule, this venue. We were struggling a bit because ongoing Mar'26 thing, and we couldn't find location earlier and couldn't share in the group. But now it's all good, right? And let's take this on a positive note. So let's start with something positive, all right? Let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's start with something positive. The Pushpendra is like, no, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to stand up. I don't want to do anything. Okay, you don't have to do anything physical, move around and something. But we need to be grateful. That's the core of our life today. We need to be grateful for everything. So let's take a moment. Let's do it very quick, and let's talk about something that we are grateful today. And we go by one, and real quick, one thing you are grateful for. You can have a ton of things, like 1,000 things that you are grateful about. You can pick it up randomly, just one thing. Alright? So I'll start from myself. I am very grateful that I'm from a village, but I'm standing here in Gurgaon living in such a big city. For a guy from Bihar, it's a very big city. I'm very grateful for that. Let's go.
I'm very grateful for my mother to be in town. She lives outside, she lives in a different city, but she's here for a few days. I'm very happy and grateful about that.
Right.
I'm grateful for the opportunities that I got into from moving different cities, learning new cultures. A lot of new exposure has come across at a very young age, I would say.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, I am grateful to be healthy and be able to attend this meeting and do everything else. So, grateful to be healthy.
I am grateful for Navratri because I've been fasting and I feel light and happy.
Guys, please don't stand I'm grateful to be here in this environment back, just like in my colleges. So.
I'm grateful that I did not take the cab and I dared to drive today. So I'm really grateful that I am safely here and no issues were there during that. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my family, the support they gave all those years.
Yes.
I'm grateful that I did not cancel my speech session today, even though
I'm grateful for the gifts that have been bestowed upon me.
I'm grateful for the weather, how cold it is today, cold and windy. How good the food tasted today in the morning. Grateful to be alive, it's so exciting and life is full of fun.
I'm also grateful for a lot of things. Apart from being grateful for being alive, I'm grateful for very supportive parents and AI actually, because that is helpful. No, that has actually pushed me to start reading because now I do have some time. So yeah.
Nice.
I'm grateful for having a good night's sleep yesterday after a long time. And I think I'm in general grateful for a lot of things. Your list is pretty long.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm grateful to the Toastmasters, the opportunities it has given to me, the platform it has given to me. So I'm grateful for that.
Doing the one role.
I'm very grateful to my parents, and I'm also very grateful that today I made a decision to attend the GTMC class. For the past 1.5 months I was sleeping, I have been extremely
Please. Toastmasters? Yeah.
I'm grateful that I got to see the part of Gurgaon I never seen earlier. Google took me 3 miles ahead, then through what lane, I get stuff.
Nice.
I'm grateful for such lesser traffic today.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. So we were talking about what are we grateful about this one thing. What are you grateful for today?
After coming late. I'm grateful that I saw the location.
Did you go there?
No.
Tanika, what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for?
Why I'm late today?
No, what? Give me one thing that you are grateful for.
I given my test some days back and I got very good marks in that.
Alright. Very nice. And this is the purpose of life, that we are grateful about something, right? And people say your past is past, your future will be future, but what you have today, how can you make most out of it? And that's what we all should be grateful for, everything we are having today, and live the best of it. And thankful, I'm so thankful to all of you that you joined here. And this is Toastmaster meeting number 895. Okay. Yeah, this is 895. So it's a brand good day, and with a new location, right? Cool. So with the Toastmaster International is a platform, of course, and it has a certain mission, and we follow that mission, and that is the mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skill, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And the core values of Toastmasters are the 4 core values. I want any of us to remind me, like 4 core values.
Integrity, respect, service, excellence.
Integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Yeah, that's a good student, Visudeep. Before starting the meeting, I would like to mention some ground rules. First, please put your phone on silent so that it does not disturb ongoing meeting. And as the Toastmasters, we don't talk about exploration and politics in a derogatory manner, so please refrain from it. And please don't cross-talk or interrupt while the speaker is delivering the speech unless you are specifically asked for. And please take the exit and entry only during the applause time, so of course it does not disturb the meeting. And if you're having an urgent phone call, you may drop a text that, hey, I'll call you later. Thank you, and wishing you a good time here, great learning, unlearning, and a good networking session. Over to Presiding Officer, Team Namita.
Thank you, Sachin, for setting the tone of the day. Very good welcome to all of you, and we have water bottles in case you need. Be thirsty, so please, and you can pass it on. Alright. So I'll just give a brief introduction of what Toastmasters actually is. More than 100 years ago, a guy named Ralph C. Smedley came up with an idea to have a platform where people can learn to be confident speakers, work on their public speaking skills in a friendly environment, and that is the reason he came up with the idea of Toastmasters Club. And there is history behind the name Toastmasters also, because when you raise a toast and you give a speech, it's a celebratory environment at a wedding or a dinner. So that's the idea, and that is why we are all here in this environment to work upon our communication skills. And with regards to our club, that is Gurgaon Toastmasters Club, it has been a legacy club. You can see it's meeting number 895, and after 4 meetings we will be having our milestone meeting number 900. So it will be a special meeting. So that's about GTMC. And now I'll just move on to having guest introductions. So I'll start with you. You can just tell us your name, what do you do, and what brings you here on a Sunday morning, that too in a very offbeat location.
Okay. So my name is Karthik. I'm from Jammu and Kashmir and currently residing here in Gurgaon. And I'm into international export sales. So we are selling the spectacles. And
This is something
yeah.
you made, okay?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
so I'm living nearby, so the place is near to me, so no issues in coming here. So this is
Okay. Alright.
Yeah. So, hello everyone, I'm Prabhat Ranjan. I'm a finance professional with more than 10 years of experience. And I've been thinking a lot about joining GTMC, but couldn't find the motivation to wake up in the morning, early morning. So finally, it's the start of a new financial year. Last time I was in January, again I was a bit late for that meeting.
Oh,
and then again it took me another 2 months to meet.
To come back to the second meeting. Okay.
So yeah, so I think this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, excel in public speaking and all. So yeah, that's good enough motivation for me to be here.
Alright.
And thank you, for allowing me to be here, even though I was a bit late.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Hi. Sorry. My name is Shishir. I am from Patna, Bihar, and I have been residing in Gurgaon for last 15 years. I work in insurance broking company in Gurgaon, and for past few months I have been thinking about trying to join a public speaking course or something like that, which could enhance my public speaking skills, and that is how I found GTMC, and I want to work on my public speaking skills.
Welcome. Yes.
Good morning everyone. I am Samyos Jain from Mysuru, Karnataka. Currently here I am working as R&D engineer at Mar'26. So from a long time I just wanted to improve my public speaking skills and also overcome that fear of public speaking. So from a long time I wanted to join GTMC. So today here I tried to be a guest.
Yes, finally you made the start. Okay. Yes.
I am Vijay Kumar. Presently I am working in Mar'26 and I am having an experience of almost 17 years. So since last 17 years I am facing this challenge to overcome the fear of public speaking. So here I am to join this related.
Welcome. 17 is a good number. You can always make a start. Yes.
Hi, my name is Harish. I've been a guest for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm happy I've been able to save up enough money to be a member now. And I work at an NBFC. We're into vehicle lending. And why I'm here is to be a better communicator, better articulator, and that's it.
Welcome, Harish, and would be looking forward to see you as a member now for the next meeting. All right. Okay, so without wasting any further time, we'll start with the meeting. I'll explain the structure of the meeting. We start with the prepared speeches. So we have speakers who have prepared their speeches. They will come on the stage, deliver, and they will be evaluated towards the end. Second section of the meeting would be table topic section, where you will be given impromptu topics to speak on for 1 minute to 2 minutes. And guests are encouraged to make the most of this section, come up on the stage, take up the impromptu topic and deliver your impromptu speech. It's a fun session. And then we move on to the last session, which is the evaluation session, where every speaker is given their feedback by their evaluators and the auxiliary role players also. Alright, with that I move on and I invite on stage the Toastmaster of the day, who is a very encouraging and a wonderful woman, doing a lot of things. Sometimes she wonders how to introduce herself, especially these days when she has been changing careers and when people ask her, what do you actually do? And she pauses for a while that, what do I actually do? So yes, the Toastmaster of the day is the Toastmaster of the day is an erstwhile financial auditor A chartered accountant by qualification, yes, a chartered accountant by qualification. Moving into a very different career space where she wants to encourage and motivate people to make the most of storytelling and inspire others with their stories, because everyone has a story which can take them to a next level and a very good level. So, with that, Namita Bhalla on the stage welcomes you. Thank you for that. And the theme that she has chosen, the theme that I have chosen for today, is a very good, inspiring theme. And I don't know why this flag is bothering me. डर नहीं लगता इसको. So that is. Yeah, sorry.
I think that it sees its friends in the dots. बहुत ही घटिया जोक है.
So, no, we need that. So that is the theme of the day. It is fear. And I just want to ask you, apart from public speaking, that is one common fear that I know we all are trying to overcome, get better at it. Even now, if we have overcome that fear, we just try to become better at public speaking. But what else is a fear? Like for me, I still fear darkness. If the electricity goes off and I don't have my phone to switch on the flashlight, it's really scary for me, and then my mind starts imagining images. Oh my god, if this is a fan, it's something else that is hanging here, it's not a fan. So yeah, I still have that fear of darkness. So anyone else wants to share such fears that they know that even though doesn't really exist but still exists in their mind?
I think fear of closed spaces, claustrophobia is something. Yeah, in a lift, if the lift stops.
Yes.
Midway, oh my
Yes,
god.
I know.
It's very scary.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Pushpendra.
Fear of changing the surroundings, be it job, house, or city. Challenges will come with. But I learned to cope with the.
Basically, love for comfort.
I'll say it.
Love the people around me.
Okay. Yes.
I think I still have this student in me alive, so whenever I think someone tells me I need to be evaluated or there's a particular test, I think I still have that fear. That is something.
Fear of tests, fear of exams. I still get those dreams.
Being a chartered accountant, fear of failure.
Yeah.
Fear of failure. Oh, big time. You once we pursue CA. I take a CA.
6 years after completing my MBA, I still wake up sometime in the morning and think, oh, I might miss my class, or I might miss my exam.
Or on that note, I once had a
Something happens in
I realized, oh, my MBA is already over. 6 years, it has been 6 years now.
On that point,
Seems like I chose the right topic. Okay. Alright. So, in my attempt for this session, either you will, by the end of the session, you will instill more fears, or you will try to embrace the existing ones or eradicate them completely. What I have done, I have tried to break down the word fear in an acronym. So, we'll one by one analyze each alphabet and see how this is something that we can overcome or at least attempt. So, like Bhavya said, fear of failure. F here stands for failure. And yes, I am also going to say that the Sapita CA story. Hi Shruti, how are you? Finally found the venue. Alright, Sanita. So yes, the Kisapita CA story, that failure is actually a real thing, and why we say that with so much of emotions, because every CA student who has been, probably has been an above average or a topper of the school, for the very first time sees on that screen the result written as fail. And it's difficult and hard to believe that someone who has been at the top throughout his life, has worked his ass off day and night, has abandoned every social event, is actually failed. So the God of Chartered Accountant, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, actually plays that card and he tells you, fail. That very moment is hard to digest. First time failure, very difficult. And what's even more difficult? Second time failure. Yes. And then you think that, okay, it's like a never ending spiral. You are in that tunnel and absolutely there is no end to that tunnel. Forget the light at the end of the tunnel. It's difficult. How many of you have seen the series Half CA? Okay. Even the non-CAs should see that, try to see that, because you will feel so glad that you didn't choose that path. And the CAs here, I was actually teary-eyed, crying on most scenes when I saw that series, both the seasons, because it was like reliving those exact same moments what the protagonists were experienced. Yes, Pushpinder?
You should watch Kota Factory then.
I watched Kota Factory also. Yes, I watched Kota Factory and that too is relatable. Yes, absolutely. And I love Jitu Bhaiya. Because we kind of have such inspiring teachers in our CA fraternity also. So yes, that is a very big jhatka you get when you enter that scene of failure. And like every married person advises an unmarried person not to get married. Every qualified chartered accountant advises someone who comes to him for asking a career advice, don't do CA, don't go down that path. You would be better off jumping off a high building. I have that, okay. You would be better off jumping off a high-rise building, but don't go down that. That's a warning that is given.
I think you should write a book called CA Traumas of the CA.
It will be a bestseller, at least in the CA world. Alright, but how did I overcame that fear of failure? Because I failed once, I failed twice, and this was CA finals. And the fear was still there. Then I failed thrice. And this was the hardest. Because at this time, you know, one of my cousins was also attending CA. And he became a CA. And there were sweets, laddus being sent to my home. That, you know, your mama's beta is a CA now. It was, I can't describe what I felt at that moment. Wonderful feeling. But when I reached here at this failure and I had to prepare myself for the 4th attempt, then I was like, forget it. I am mentally prepared to fail again. I'll study hard, I'll do whatever it takes. What's the worst that will happen? I'll fail again, fine. People want to make fun of me, relatives want to pass sarcastic comments, whatever. I'll still be in that room. I'll give my best. I don't know what will happen next, but I am ready to fail again. That is when I mentally embraced. I was not looking forward to the result at all, and that is when I actually cleared CA. So that was something, that was a learning for me, that when you erase that fear of failure, erase that fear at least from your mind, you are mentally prepared, okay, what is the worst that will happen? It's just again that result that I will be viewing, I will be opening the same books again, studying again. So it's fine, I'll go ahead with it. So if that is something you could also apply in some part of your life, probably it will help. With that, I'll go on to invite the general evaluator for the day to take the meeting ahead, and we'll keep diving into this further. So welcome, Toastmasters.
I'm the general evaluator for the day, and my role is very simple. I'll be keeping it very short and simple. It's to evaluate the whole meeting in a general way, in terms of how the setup was, how people's response was, how you were in the stage interacting. With that being said, we'll also look at very specific parts of the evaluation, which are specifically 4 major elements. First element is of time, whether you're on time, off time. Second is of grammar. Grammar is not about using bombastic words, it's about using the right words for the right context. Third is going to be about your stutter words, the crutch language words that you use. Maybe so. Just being mindful of these kind of bumps, which actually derails the connection with the audience. Whenever you use these kind of words, it actually stops you from connecting with the audience. So this is another element we'll be taking care of. And the final element is about listening. So if you go to any high stakes meeting, it's not about speaking as much as possible. It is about listening and understanding the context from the person over there, and then presenting or crafting your speech, solving that particular problem. So listening is a very important skill that we will tackle. And to handle these, we have very specific people who will be taking care of these specific domains. So I'll be inviting on stage first Toastmaster Sachin as a grammarian. Please come and explain your role.
So I'm playing the role of grammarian, and what does a grammarian do here is he or she shares word of the day and idioms of the day. Why? Because, again, I talked in my previous meeting, we try to improve our input so that the output should be better. We keep on learning new words or idioms, and that should be reflected in our speech and further communication when we are having a daily conversation. So word of the day is mortified, which means embarrassed. We tend to use embarrassed word a lot. That's a very common one. Everybody knows. But how about mortified? When you say mortified, it looks like, oh, now I am an English person. Now I'm well versed with English language. So using synonyms is very important if you are trying to be not cool, but if you are well versed with English. Mortified, embarrassed. So the example could go like, I was mortified when I called my date's name with a different girl's name. You can use that. And the idioms of the day could be wrap your head around something. It's a very common thing. We are moving in a very fast-paced world, and we have a lot of things to catch up. So every now and then you can say, hey, I'm trying to wrap my head around this new AI tool called Kiro. It's something that you can use in your daily life. So let's put all in these words in your daily normal conversation. If you would not enrich your daily conversation with your peers, you wouldn't be improving or showing the improved version in a final meeting or in a speech. So let's do that. And on top of it, I will also be knowing all the good or bad uses of grammar or words in this meeting. And I will jot it down and I will share my report at the end. And if you use any of these two, word of the day or idiom of the day, we all will just give you a thumbs up. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Your word of the day actually reminds me of Harry Potter. It sounds like a spell from Harry Potter. There was to be petrified, mortified. Something like that. Now let's bring on stage our next specific role player, and that role is of time, and we have Toastmaster Sailesh playing that role. Please give me a round of Toastmaster Sailesh. You saying something?
Camera.
Sorry. This mic? Yeah.
Noise will go outside, no? Acha, makhi also went outside. Good.
Good morning, everyone. As timer, I will be responsible for keeping track of time during speeches, table topics, and evaluation. I'll now explain the timing rules and demonstrate single card as shown below. Time for prepared speeches is 5 to 7 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. At 5 minutes, I'll show you the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. Time for table topic is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. At 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At the 1.5 minute, I'll show you the yellow card. At the second minute, I'll show the red card. Time for evaluators is 2 to 3 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on either side. At 2 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 2.5 minutes, I'll show the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. At the end of the meeting, I'll present my report. This will let you know if you have delivered your speeches within the allocated time. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to add to, I think we should talk about grace periods.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's bring on stage our next role player, and that role is of art author and Toastmaster. Hemant is playing that role. Please give a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today I will play the role of art author. The purpose of this role is to make speakers aware of filler words. Filler words like you know so often slip in when we think or transition between ideas. It means that we have to reduce that. If we use it more, it will decrease the impact of our speeches and also distract our audience. So by becoming aware of these filler words, we can replace it with powerful pauses. So throughout the meeting, I'll be listening everyone carefully, will make a note of usage of these words, and will present my report in the evaluation section. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, we'll have our active listener and Ashwarya explain that role. Please give a round of applause to our active listener.
Hello everyone, I'm Ashwarya and I'm your active listener for the day. My task is to listen to all the speeches and evaluation, everything that is talked about in the session, and I'll ask you interesting questions to check how much did you guys listen or not. Looking forward to it. See you. Let's see who wins.
Thank you. With that, I'll be again back on the stage in the third half of the meeting, and let's welcome our Toastmaster of the day again and talk about our deepest, darkest fear. Toastmaster Namita.
Alright. Thank you for that. And then while I was sitting there, one of Priyanka Chopra's dialogue came to my mind. She used it in the movie Maricon, saying, "किसी को इतना भी मत डराओ कि डर ही खत्म हो जाए." So yeah, I think that philosophy also works. Now, what about E? I recently heard a word, and if anyone knows the meaning, let me know.
Calm.
Equanimity.
Within yourself.
Balance in your thinking. Balance in your thinking.
Balance. Yes.
Seeing clouds everywhere.
So, I'll tell you how I came across this word. There is a story associated with it. First of all, when I heard this word, I was not in a very good state of mind. I was not in the right mood. So, हो गया क्या green card? नहीं.
Why?
Okay. Alright. So I was not in the right mood, and I didn't realize that it's a word in English being said to me. So I said "कौन सी मिट्टी?" And the person on the other end of the phone said equanimity. Then I was like, again my mind went, I heard Multani mitti. What is this mitti? It's a Punjabi word. Is it a Punjabi word? I asked him. No, English word. And I felt a little embarrassed. and he said, equanimity, you look it up in the dictionary. I said, oh, okay, alright. Taking few days back before that phone call, and who that phone call was with. So, like I'm trying to explore few newer options right now and trying to go to new places. So I registered myself for a training, and there was a room full of corporate trainers which I went into. And I felt very confident while I was walking into that room. I was interacting with people, I was sitting, absorbing all the concepts there. And being a Toastmaster, you always raise your hand and speak up. So there was a concept of I even unable to recall the abstract substantiation, that was the concept, and I tried to explain on that concept. The lead trainer was quite unimpressed by the way I explained, and he gave me the feedback then and there, and I didn't feel quite right. Again, the way the structure of that training was, it felt quite overwhelming, and interacting with the other trainers in the room felt even more felt more draining, and I couldn't explain how I felt that day. I felt that if I have to start on this path, probably the starting line is there at the end of the room and I'm standing there, and I still have to cover this path while all others are way beyond their starting line and past. So it wasn't a very good feeling that I left with on that day, and I came home, I was frustrated, I was snapping for no reason at my husband, my daughter and whatnot. And then after a few days, since we exchanged a lot of phone numbers there, I called up this other trainer I spoke to, and I was very honest with my feelings, and he told me to look up this concept of equanimity, because not all days would be in your favor, not everything might be in your favor at all times, but you have to find your balance on favorable days as well as unfavorable days. Find your balance even when you are getting praised for, you don't have to feel flattered, and when you are being criticized, you don't have to let yourself down. So that was the concept I understood through that story of my day of equanimity, that I still have to work on my equanimity to find that balance. And it's very hard to develop. Any stories anyone has to share on this? Vipassana. Have you done that?
Yeah, I have done that. So I think that is one of the places where you can actually kind of get close to that.
Yes, and it's a deeper concept. It goes into Bhagavad Gita and Buddhism also. It's very difficult to achieve this state, but at least again an attempt can be made. With that, let's go on to our first speaker of the day, who is Toastmaster Ajay Mehra, and before that, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Sachin.
Ajay Mehra.
So number 2.
I actually
Okay, sorry, I didn't see that.
Bad UX. Very bad UX.
So this is trying to grab around this.
So let me call.
Yeah, great.
Inside.
Thank you, GM Navita. Today, again, I'm playing this evaluator role. I'll be evaluating Ajay Mehra's speech today. It's my pleasure. And he's on his 4th speech from level 2 in humor in public speaking. So I'll be listening to him carefully, and I'll share my report, suggestions and recommendations and learning after that. Thank you. Good luck, sir.
I'll quickly introduce Mr. Ajay Mehra before I leave the stage. Mr. Ajay Mehra is indulging on the second phase of his life. As we can see, he has worked for more than 5 decades, having worked in global commercial organizations for 50 years, now on an expedition to explore newer passions. Speech title, My Life, My Way. Toastmaster Ajay, My Life.
Doctor, my life, my voice. You haven't yet come to A, and I thought if you describe A, it would be apology. Because I am apologetic in a proactive manner I was saying that I've been missing out on Toastmasters for quite some time. And I lost my momentum. And now I'm here to pick up the thread all over again, as we usually do in life, like your CA case. Keep moving on, irrespective of results. You know, my concern that comes about is when I interact with people, I'm somehow branded differently, like elderly. And that exactly tells me what I am, and I use it more for the sake that I've got more experience, more learning, more knowledge, and more clarity on what I'm going to do going forward. Now, I was born in the latter part of 47 when the partition just started, and the British had just gone out of India. And we had Calcutta as an example, where all these Indian business houses were buying over everything British, be it the teas, gardens, be it the jute mills, be it the engineering industries. The British were moving out. And I think that was a decay of the British Empire, which, as I was reading the other day, started from Aden down to Burma. And gradually all of them broke up. So, having been born in the latter part of 47, I grew up studying in the 50s and the 60s. So when people say you're elderly, that is a time frame which not many of people will understand what 50s and 60s meant. It was a conversion of the industrialization of India, the political status of India. And then at the 70s, I started getting to a job situation. So in that stage you are in Bombay, and you realize what is your first love, what's your first job, what's your first, every time differently. And the situations kept changing, and you start meeting different people and you start engaging with them differently. So in the year between 90s, between 70s to 90s, I started changing jobs, stabilizing myself, and when it came to the year 90 to 2000, I was a little stable. In that stability, I was trying to understand what I'm going to do next. I'm married, I have kids. Then, when it moved on, I realized that I have to now redefine my life and take fresh steps going forward at that young age. I realized that the way things have changed, I mean, there was the days when we had a telephone operator for connecting us to long distance calls, to mobile phones and video calls. You had the gramophones which had moved on to what you have with Spotify and all today. So, and then we had seen all the illnesses in my earlier days, which was like pneumonia, TB, pleurisy, and going down to COVID-19. So the things around me were changing constantly all the time. And then it became like, we had seen that the first Macintosh laptop to going on to now megabytes and gigabytes. Those changes were quite evident, and I was always constantly faced with accepting the change. And then came, like, as a kid, we were driving a tricycle to the bicycle, the moped, the motorcycles, and now the cars with diesels, with hybrid and the electric ones. So these changes were confounding all the time, and I realized that I have had to change a lot in myself compared to what most of you have experienced. And this change was quite critical to me because it told what I started off with and where I am now. In that bargain, we changed, like I felt I was more analog at that time to the time I'm more digital now. After having worked for about 50 years in different corporate companies, my last was about 20 years, it gave me the stability. I realized that I was running a race where everybody was, trying to overtake you and move out. That humanitarian conditioning of saying, okay, can I understand you, can I help you out? All that wasn't existing now. It's like dog-eat-dog world. And then I said, let me get out of this world. I've had enough, and I've got the number of years I've got to live. Let me look at that. And when I started evaluating myself, it took me about 2-3 years to get used to not being in a conventional road that I was used to looking at life very differently. I decided what I'd do, and then I started picking up my passion. And one of the passions I picked up was photography. And the thing I learned in that was that as kids, we normally take photographs. Photography is different from taking photos. And recently I went to a course where they teach you the post-processing. And the post-processing gives you that picture the way you actually see it, which the normal photograph doesn't. Not even your mobile phone gives you that clarity. And I've done this program which I thought I'd share with you, but I think with the lack of a camera, I mean, I've got the photographs here to show you what the real good photographs mean. And these were all shot in the scenery at Nanda Devi Peak, and then the village around that place. And there's an old temple which is 9th century old, and it's called Vaidyanath Temple. You've got to see that architecture, it's without any cement and limestone, but stone integrated, put together, still stands. So that was a problem. I realized that what I'm moving on to, and I'm happy about it, and that I've got a sense of clarity. So when I said about, you were talking econometry, I was saying yes. I mean, I've experienced econometry through Vipassana, and I know what it means. So like every situation of life you're in, you take a stop and then decide the next step to go. So now I'm on to all my passions and looking at what I need to do, for which I don't have to seek anybody's comments or anybody's critiques. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an inspiration, what a passion, and I think that is something to learn about, to be curious always and to be a learner always. And we would love to see your photographs, sir. Apologies that we didn't have the system today.
Next time.
But yes, definitely that is on our list now. Okay, now we come to A, and sir was also curious what A is. Any guesses? I mean, I just read all the
Acceptance.
Adventure.
Acceptance.
Yeah, it is acceptance. Adventure could have been one. Alright. But what made you think that it could be acceptance?
Because
Because of the
getting
phase.
clear is basically accepting that you have to deal with it.
You have to deal with it. Okay.
Definitely.
Any
The
more
phase
thoughts?
is
Any more thoughts? Yeah. No, yeah,
I
that's
think between the 3 attempts earlier, you've got to learn to accept
yes.
whatever may come.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's about accepting things that are beyond your control and stop wasting your energy on it. Accepting things. Yeah, बहुत जल्दी green हो जाते हैं. I put timing correctly. I just started speaking.
The watch is running fast.
It's 2 minutes between the.
Okay.
I have been instructed.
Okay, sorry. Nothing on you, but it just feels that it's too early. Okay. And I can now feel how Bhavish used to feel. Alright. Acceptance. That is beyond my control. I am accepting it. So, have you seen those cricket memes where,
Denial.
Yes.
Is it denial? There is.
So,
I forgot it.
the memes that I am talking about is where the guy is, it's between a husband and a wife. The wife is standing on a stool with a rope hanging from the ceiling fan, almost ready to hang herself. And then slowly the husband in his cricket attire enters the room. He sees his wife hanging. It's a Sunday, and he quietly takes his bat and cricket gear, removes his fingerprints, and walks away. So that is something I have also lived. I used to resent my husband's love for cricket, such a mad love for his cricket that every Sunday he has plans for his cricket matches. Every weekend whether it is evening matches, early morning matches, always he is ready for it. And I used to wonder, why can't he just say no for once? Why can't he just say no? And the moment he started saying no, it was troublesome for me because I could see the changes in his mood, and he had more mood swings ever than I had ever in my entire life. So for me, it was to accept, okay, let him go to have his cricket, and I found my own passions here in Toastmasters. So that was a kind of accepting what I tried changing, but I couldn't change because I figured out that that is something beyond my control, and accepting actually led me to a more peaceful life for me and for him as well. With that, I'll call on our second. So there's a fight between who wants to go for the second spot. But I'll stick to the order now. God, sorry guys, can't do anything about it. So our second speaker is Toastmaster Pushpendra. Before inviting him, I'll call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Hemant.
Hi everyone, good morning once again. So today's speech is from the Presentation Mastery Pathway Level 3 Project 3 titled Understanding Local Vocal Variety. The purpose of this project is for the speaker to practice using vocal variety to enhance the overall impact of the speech. As an evaluator, I will be focusing specifically on the speaker's vocal variety, and as per the speaker's personal request, I will be observing the overall speech impact, body language, speech speed and clarity. Thank you.
So sorry Pushpendra, I had to make one choice. So let me introduce our next speaker, Pushpendra Singh Champawat. Long as his name is also long, just like him. He works as a product manager at Apollo 24/7 and comes from the blue city of Jodhpur. He joined Toastmasters with a clear intention. He wants his speeches to stay with people long after they leave the room. The title of the speech is Hello, am I talking to? All the best.
Everybody come like a bit forward, I think it will be much better.
Come.
Over in the back. You can speak a bit louder. I'll do that still. There are empty seats in the front.
Come forward, एक बार.
I'll come forward.
Will you come till this point?
Everybody.
उसके बाद तो स्टेज के बैठ गई No, like
कैमरा चेक डन
नहीं कट जाएगा तो कोई
आवाज आ रही है
आई डोंट जंप जस्ट
But to the
So good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Some of you might know I'm in my notice period. And recently I got in a very dangerous situation. Monday afternoon. So people say I want free time. No, you don't. Because people think of free time, they think about freedom. But it's a responsibility of your character, how you deal with it. So that Monday morning, especially, it was okay. But when in the afternoon, I had nothing to do. No work, no purpose in my life. So I thought, let's watch Netflix. I scrolled, and scrolled. For 20 minutes, and Netflix was like, bro, what are you doing? Please decide it. Thought, let's leave Netflix. I'll watch cricket. Is India playing someone today? No. Has it started? Not yet. I was so desperate. I'll watch Test cricket today. But there was no Test cricket also happening. So what should I do? Oh, I have friends. I'll call them. I call first bro, I'm busy. I call second. Bro, I'm in a meeting. It's Monday, why are you calling me now? I said, okay. I call the third one. They didn't pick up. Maybe we just see my call and choose peace or chaos on a Monday. So there I was. No plans, no work, no purpose, just free, just like that one. So I thought, let's think something. What is the purpose of my life? I'm doing right in my career. This is right for me. While I was going on the second level, I suddenly my phone rang. It was a call from unknown number. Generally, we disconnect those calls, reject them. Today, thought let's pick it up. Who could? My call. Hello sir, am I talking to Mr. Pushpin? Like yes. Sir, this is Divya calling for Bajaj Finance. I was like, Divya. I got an idea. Divya! Oh, Divya! Such a long time. How are you doing till now? Oh, she was surprised. Sir, I'm okay. Hello sir, this is Divya calling Bajaj Finance. I want to talk to you about personal loans with attractive rates. No, Divya, in corporate. How are you? Sir, I'm okay. Divya, how are you? Sir, I'm okay. How about you? No, Divya, I'm okay. What? No, I'm not okay. I'm not really good. Sir, are you okay? May I call you sometime later? No, Divya, I'm okay. Let's talk. So, sir, we have really good personal loan with attractive rates. Divya, you're not bothered with my point. How are you? Even she was mortified to know. Sir, I am okay. And I said again, Divya, how are you? Did you have lunch yet? Yes, sir. I had my lunch. No, Divya. I really didn't cook. I read from some manual. No, sir. I had my lunch. So I want to talk about the personal finance. So I thought she doesn't want to stop. So I had to put her on some weaponry. Divya, you keep talking about work. How many years are you working from? 2 years, 3 years? Yes, sir, 2 years. See, Divya, in last 2 years, had the work stopped? So you work for 20 more years. The work end? No, sir. She started to think about whole life decisions. Who did me to fall today? But talk to my therapist. So I thought, I can be a therapist now. Let's play with her mind. So Divya, you're working for 20 years. What are you doing with your life now? What do you want to do in the next 2 years, next 5 years? Are you happy? Do you have a life outside this work? Then I asked the question, it's now already, everybody's asking me. Divya, are you married yet? She said, no. Good, you're good. See, you're always working. Don't have life outside this work. Divya, I thought you were a very smart person. But you disappointed me. And Divya, next time when you call me, at least make a boyfriend by then. So by this time, she didn't know. She should be happy, cry, or just disconnect. But she disconnected. But here's the twist. For that thing, just look at my phone. And I felt a sense of achievement. Because first time in my life, a telemarketer has cut the call before me. Because it's always, sorry, not interested. But it was her. Sorry, sir, not interested. That's, look at situations. Because what do you always think? This life, this God will send somebody in life to make it interesting, to entertain. No. Sometimes they send Bajaj Finance. It's your job to make it entertaining. So next time, when you get a phone call from an unknown number, either you can get a great story, or sir, you can get personal finance with attractive rates. Thank you. That's all.
And now how many people would be looking for Divya from Bajaj Finance?
Pushpa
Do you know Pushpa? Yes, so if Divya calls me, I'll ask her about you. And definitely I think you are doing justice to all your speeches because all your speeches lingers on for long in our minds and hearts. Okay, any guesses for our
Resilience.
क्या तुमने मेरी डायरी देखी?
Yeah,
क्या it's just the CA mind कि और क्या ही होगा हमारी लाइफ में? So yes, it's resilience, what to do. And before I talk about my story, which I'm trying to avoid, anyone has their story of resilience, anything, could be anything, any part of life. कुछ तो
What does resilience mean in layman terms?
anyone wants to take a shot on that?
Basically being persistent.
Persistence. So basically,
Keep
how-
going on.
yes, keep going. Basically, when nothing is in your favor, the circumstances are toughest that you can think of. You still keep going. You keep going strong, and you just keep at it, and then you come out stronger also.
Actually, resilience means when you fall down, how quickly can you come back? And again,
To bounce back.
Bounce back.
Any story?
So it was.
Is it about how quickly or just that you're getting up?
How quickly?
How quickly? Any story?
Me?
Sorry.
So basically, around October 2023, I left my job and I left it in a very confident mode that yeah, I'll do whatever I can. But 20th October was my last day. From 18th of October, I was so tense, so curious as to what the next step would be. And after the 20th, on 21st, waking up, having no clue what to do, and yet going through with it, building a practice, and coming back to the stage. So,
Very well done, and we see your journey. Sir, you want to share something?
Right. It's a sad story.
Huh?
It's a sad story, but of my resilience. You know, Friday the 13th has always scared me. It was Friday the 13th in 1997. I finished my lunch with my wife and my son. They went to see a movie. And that was the last. They both perished. And your good word that was going on suddenly comes to a naught. And then one has to decide what to do because you can't keep mourning all your life. You have a life to lead, the ones who God have gone. But you are there. And when my son was studying for CA, I did everything to make sure that he sits for his exams because with all that tragedy, he could have faltered. But finally, to cut it short, he passed his prelim and the finals first shot. And I said, now you get out.
That's really an inspiring story and how kudos to you, sir, the way you bounced back and made your son's life even better. So, anything else? So my story again, I would say a sad story. It's about my postpartum phase, and the fact that every woman goes through it doesn't really makes it easier. And the more we talk about it, sometimes there's a sense of discomfort that why are we actually talking about it, and someone who has not experienced it would not feel what I am talking about here, but it is true. If I was unmarried right now sitting there, I wouldn't have an iota of idea that what this woman on stage is talking about, what is this postpartum. I know what the phase is, but what you actually go through, you are just unable to understand your purpose of life. You are angry on yourself, you're angry on your child, and the fact that no one around you is able to understand you
because you yourself are unable to understand yourself in that phase. And for me to come out of that phase was my resilience. And the first time I dressed myself up, I dressed my baby up, and we went out on a proper outing, just the two of us. That was my moment of resilience, that okay, I have come out of that. And yes, there were people supporting me on that, even from a distance, but that was my resilience. So yes, this fear is about all of this. It's about owning up again. And with that, let me call upon our last speaker of the day, Toastmaster Bhavya. Before that, let me call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavish.
Thank you. So today I'm going to evaluate Bhavya. It's a privilege for Bhavya. There are a few criteria on which Bhavya wants me to evaluate him on. Voice modulation, stage utilization, confidence and clarity, and overall structure of the speech. There are a few more criteria onto which I'll be evaluating. Does he have clarity in life or not? Sorry, speech. Vocal variety. Is he being squeaky? Is he being loud? I will check that. Eye contact. Is he staring particularly at one particular girl or not? Okay, let's check it out. Gestures. Is he going wild? Because Navratris are going. So you have to be very careful of the gestures. Then we have audience awareness. How aware is he? Is he lost into his own speech, or is he also looking at people? And the comfort level that he has with his wife. So these are the kind of things that I'm going to evaluate on. So I'll be presenting my report later on.
I don't think after this I need to introduce you. Your introduction, I would actually skip. Everyone knows you're a CA, you work for Bank of America, now you're in practice, and by you Toastmasters, and very well covered by Bhavish what is going on in your life, more than you would know. All the best. You can say
So
that.
the title of the speech is Control Alt Lead.
Not delete, lead.
Lead. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Let me start with a simple question. How many of you actually believe in astrology or numerology? Don't worry, it's a safe space. We're not judging here.
It's a new thing that I've started to actually look at.
Okay, anyone else?
Okay.
So I actually never believed in this stuff. I thought that this was something people usually do on a Sunday morning, looking at horoscope and wondering, yeah, maybe this is how life moves on, right? Just for fun. Until recently, I came across something interesting. Apparently, people born on 1st, 10th, 19th, and 28th with the Mulang or the birth number 1, the planet is ruled by sun. And according to astrology, these people are natural leaders. Now I thought, maybe I was just trying to become a Bollywood superstar, right? But life had other plans. So during my CA journey, I entered the corporate world for the very first time. Now those of you who have been to the corporate world would know there is a very clear hierarchy. Your work first goes on to your manager, then your senior manager, and eventually your partner. Basically, your file travels more than you do. And it's that I did not have a problem with that hierarchy, but I wanted to take control. I wanted to have the freedom to take decisions. But something interesting happened over a period of time. So my manager grew more confident of my work and eventually made me his direct reportee. And I enjoyed the freedom, the responsibility,
but that came with a very harsh learning. That I was someone who was not a person who could stay in a traditional job throughout my life. And after I qualified CA, I was fortunate enough to work for a very good Fortune 100 company. Very good company, great learning, great exposure. But there was this voice inside me saying, "You are not made for this. What about we planned on doing something of my own?" And eventually the day came where I moved from jobs to building something of my own. I moved from someone who does the job to someone who gets the job done. Today, I work with a team of more than 10 people, managing multiple projects, multiple priorities, and occasionally multiple headaches. But that's how life is, right? This is when the leadership project made all the sense. I came across a lot of learnings throughout my journey. Most important being, every person has their own way of working and dealing with situation. Some people want very clear instructions how to do the work. Some people want their full autonomy. Some people are disciplined and complete their work before the deadline, and some like me linger until the last and wake up a night before the deadline to complete it. And some of us need a cup of tea or coffee on a Sunday morning. So, I have learned a lot about leadership, and there is this project in my pathway which allows me to evaluate my leadership style. Now, there is a very popular saying that you became an average of 5 people you spend most of the times with, right? This is a saying which resonated with me because the leader you become is shaped by the people around you. There are times when I have seen people take onus of my mistakes. I have taken onus of my team's mistakes. There are times when you don't feel very confident and the leader manages. But at the same time, we need to stay resilient. Now, I have been through a lot, and during my last 10 years of professional journey, I have been through both sides of the table, where I have worked under great leaders and I have been a leader. But one thing which I have learned, where there are various valuable lessons which leaders have imparted, some intentionally and some accidentally through corporate chaos. Now, I won't take much of time, but just one learning which I endured through my project was that my leadership style is innovative and coaching. I would encourage everybody else to evaluate their leadership style, go through the questionnaire, and find out what it has for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Navya. That was truly control plus all plus lead. Identify your leadership style. And here we are. Now that we have covered all the alphabets, I'll just sum it up that, fear can exist in any form, anywhere, inside our minds. Actually, in reality, it's just upon us how we are preparing ourselves for fear, accepting what we cannot change, finding our state of balance even when we are on our highs and on our lows, and then finally coming out stronger, being resilient. So just summing it all up together, that we would all identify ourselves with each of those stories in your own version, in your own words, that how you could maybe embrace fears or come out of it and just be a better version of yourselves. nothing more that I have to add here, but hoping that I have left you with something to ponder upon, something to think about. With that, we move on to a very interesting segment, and that is the table topic segment, which is led by Toastmaster Ishita.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ishita Vyas, and I am your table topics master. This is my first one, so I'll try to keep it slightly fun and easy. So today, this will not be just one person on the stage. There will be two persons I want from the audience, and I'll give you roles and a scenario. So, any volunteers? Please, both of you. So, I am running a therapy clinic. Okay? And so you will be the therapist and you will be the patient. Okay? And our patient firmly believes they are already very famous and the world hasn't just realized it. And you have to break their delusion.
Because slightly.
Oh my god.
You want another one?
Nah, just therapist is fine, but topic. Make it more
Yeah, you are famous.
नहीं इसमें हो सकता है.
In your world.
I can be the patient. Let him be the therapist.
मजा आएगा.
See, मजा आएगा.
It'll be fun. Sort of patient.
Other patient.
I am doing.
You are the therapist. You have to break his delusion that he is famous.
ठीक है.
Oh! It's your boy, the music man! What you want? Yeah, I'm so famous, man. Everyone loves me so much. You love me, you love me, you love me, everyone loves me. Yeah!
Who is this maniac coming into my therapist office and just banging around? Who are you?
I am the world famous Mr. R.S.
Never heard of
The
me.
most awesomest guy
Never.
you ever born in this world.
Never heard your name. Nobody from my family even knows who you are.
Really? Haven't you seen my movie R.L.D.?
Do you see a line lining up to for people to see you?
Dear father, as soon as they walked in, they just stood in a line and they just wanted my autograph.
There is no line I see.
You see it outside office.
No, it is
right
not
there. And why? Don't you want my autograph?
No, see the camera, there is no one standing even there. Just a couple of dogs roaming around the park.
I think you lost it, my friend. I should believe. I think something's wrong with you.
Please do.
I think you're seeing the world upside down. You're seeing humans as dogs. On my fans, you're calling them kutta.
I'm just dialing 911. I think you need to see your doctor.
You don't need to dial number. We're in India. See, it should be 100. You're 911. Delusion, my friend. You can't see light.
What is that smell? Are you on drugs?
Little bit.
Walking onto my office in the drugs? I'll just report you to the police.
It's called magic powder.
Hello? Police, there is a maniac standing in my office saying he is very popular on drugs.
You have to raise the mic. It's magic. My mother.
Can we have some guests? Can we have some guests in the next round? Anyone wants to volunteer? Yes, please. Who wants to accompany her? Anyone wants to accompany her?
I can come.
Yes.
No one is
If
coming.
you are not anyone from the guests,
Yeah. Any guest please come? Yes.
Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, please. Great. Okay, so can your patient. So our next patient wants to formally resign from adulthood and is here to discuss the exit options, that how she can exit adulthood. Okay, so you are the therapist and you are the therapist and you are the patient.
Okay, I'm fed up of this adulthood. I do not like this life. So much of responsibility. I do not want to pursue this. I really want to go back to my childhood.
I'm very sorry, I only taken adults in my office. So you cannot really report this problem to me.
Logically, I'm adult, but I do not want to come into that responsibility phase. You have to convince me that marriage is not suitable for everyone. So, is that okay?
Why would I have to convince you that marriage is not suitable for everyone?
Because I want to resign from this adulthood. This is pissing me off.
What all is pissing you off apart from marriage?
So much of responsibility. I have to go to work. I don't want to be into that monotonous life. I want to have freedom. I want to go into a life where I can explore anything, whatever I want.
But what if you were a child, your parents would be putting on more, you would have to ask for permission to go out and everything. As an adult, you are earning your own
But when I'm out of my house, I can do anything. I can go and jump into the different kind of a pool, and that's okay.
You can even do that as an adult. You just need to change your surroundings.
But no, the people around me judge me that being an adult, you are doing all these activities.
Change your surroundings.
So if I change my surrounding, even here, if I start jumping, you will be telling me to behave like
I don't think anyone would judge you for jumping here. Would anyone judge her?
Come on, be the if I start telling somebody unknowingly, somebody will come and say, oh, Aparna, do not behave like this. This is not your childhood. You have to behave in a certain manner.
When there are kids who also start punching people, there are people who want to slap them.
But they do not hit them. Yeah, sometimes the kids get away.
There are evil adults out there like me.
Alright, but the kids can get away very easily without being unpunished. But the adults will not. Right?
I think you have to stay understood. You would lose all of this communication style that you have. You probably would not.
But I don't care. That's what I want to resign from
Alright, so I'm just going to announce the next topic and let's see who wants to volunteer. Okay?
You'll announce it first.
So, recently the patient quits the job because they have started to see ghosts. Okay? And now they believe their life's purpose is to complete whatever mission the ghost gives. And the therapist now has to work with them.
How
is the patient?
Are you allowed to enter? Bhavesh, reverse.
Why reverse?
Well, you also want to check?
No.
Okay. What are you doing for?
Angelika asked me to be here.
Where is she?
She only visits me at night.
Okay, so maybe you can bring her tonight.
No, she will not come.
She will visit you?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a mirror?
She has asked me to do something.
Then do it.
I already quit my job.
Good job. I also did one time off.
Monday, I quit my job.
Whatever she is saying, it's perfectly fine as long as she's not asking you to murder me. Everything is fine.
She asked that.
After leaving the job or before leaving the job?
I don't remember.
Think about it.
I don't remember.
Think about it. You'll be able to remember.
She doesn't like when I think.
She doesn't like a lot of things. What else does she like?
She only likes to give orders and for me to follow orders. That
And you like
keeps her
following
happy.
orders?
I'm not allowed to think.
Okay. You into AI, ChatGPT, something?
I'm not allowed to use any tools.
You're not allowed to use any tools. We're not just talking about systems. Any tools at all?
She just gave me a weapon to do the task for today.
Okay, hammer.
I can't show you that.
Okay, would you ask me how would I want to be killed? How would I want to
Manjulika has not.
She's planned everything for you?
Yes.
Can you share the blueprint with me? No? Am I allowed to walk out?
No. I've already put the locks on the gates. The cameras are all switched off.
Oh, that's not a gate, that's a wall.
Everything is locked. No one is witnessing.
No one is witnessing?
And all security cameras are also off. Security
In this
alarms
device, I
are
doubt
also-
there will be security cameras.
Security alarms are also off. Your phone has been disconnected.
Oh, it's over there actually. But let me ask you one thing. Can Manjulika tell us who exactly will book this place today? It wasn't a very wise decision, I can tell you.
Manjulika will not be happy to hear that.
Tell Manjulika, we were happy in that other Why can you Okay.
Thank you. Alright, let's change the gears. And now I am venturing into a detective agency. Okay? Alright, so should we have a detective and a client over here?
Detective and?
And a client who is coming to the detective for investigation. Guest, any guests who would want to join first? Yeah, we will encourage guests. Okay, who is the client? Okay, is that so?
I'm the detective.
You're the detective. Okay.
Bye.
So client brings a very small everyday problem. Think about an everyday problem that you've got to a detective. The detective insists on treating it like high stakes investigation. Like you might have lost the blocks or something.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. What can I do for you?
I'm come with a big ordeal for you.
Okay, tell me.
Somebody is disturbing me a lot.
Tell me more.
Every day.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
I wake up. I get dressed, ready for office.
Okay.
Go down.
Okay, why?
And see, there's my car. Why?
You don't work from home?
No. Go there. So I come down and see my car parked.
Oh, okay. You have a car?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's
It's very important. It's a very important detail.
Okay, it's Balina.
Okay, which make? Which year?
2022. And then
Which color?
It's black. And then I see a dog sleeping over it.
Oh, but is it your dog? What's the name of the dog? What was the expression of the dog? Was its ears like raised or was it down?
Think about it. It's a very bad dog. But why are they sleeping on my car? Every morning. I want to go to office.
Can you tell me the ambient temperature of the car at that time? Maybe it has got something to do with the temperature of the car.
That is good.
What temperature would you say?
15 degrees.
15 degrees. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
What am I doing for my car? I told you to talk to me personally. Some questions. Solve my issue right now.
Okay, so what you need to do is install this brand new equipment which we have. You put it in your car and it will change the ambient temperature from 15 degree to -5 degree. So the dog will come one day, but the next day he will not be able to come because -5 degree is a very, very good temperature to have.
You know what is yesterday night? Put a bucket full of ice.
Okay, so let's go.
But still there. Don't buy a bucket right now. I
Sir, I have already given you a solution. Please pay my fees of pay my genuine fees of $5,000. Then we can discuss the next one. Okay, nice meeting you.
Alright. Do we have time left? So thank you everyone for, it was a great attempt. Thanks a lot. And now we are going to take for final.
What about tea, coffee?
बैठ जाइए बैठ जाइए
बैठ जाओ वही बैठ जाओ So welcome back to the third segment of the meeting and the final segment, which is on evaluating your current performances. I hope you enjoyed the speeches and also the table topic performances. Now we'll be looking at the minutiae of each and try to learn from these. So first and foremost, let's start with the evaluation of the speeches, and we'll be inviting on stage Toastmaster Sachin to evaluate Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you, Toastmaster GTM. Sorry. What an speech! It was an honor to evaluate you, sir. It was more of a learning experience for all of us rather than evaluating. Thank you, Ademira, for your speed, my life, my way. Had it been one of us guys, 23, 24, 25, and if that person had said, my life, my way, we would have laughed like, okay, you have way to live and way to experience, and you don't know your life yet. But with you, this title, of course, suited you, and it was such a good insight overall. I was sitting over there and I could see, I had like a glance with my like corner eyes, and everyone was looking at you. Okay, tell more, I want to grab it, I want to grab it, I want to grab it. They were so hooked to your experiences from British era Calcutta to today's Gurgaon journey. Everything. It's more like we want to know. We all are good in listening stories. I mean, I don't know about telling stories, but we all love to listen stories. Like, hey, somebody will come up here and tell me a story. And tell how was India 40 years back? How was everything functioning when these big tech companies were not there or big buildings were not there? And you laid it down so beautifully. It was like a reflection from tricycle to bicycle to bike to car, and in car also diesel, petrol, and then the combine of both and CNG. You've seen it all, and you were here, you were talking about your speech, and it was a learning experience for all of us right there. This is what stands out in GTMC, that you have veteran here, and we are so proud that there is somebody who walks up on the stage and do a teaching session in the form of speeches, and we look forward to such speeches all the time. Overall, it was a really good speech, but again, you mentioned in your speech, we tend to learn, we tend to experience something, and then we enhance ourselves, and we don't be stagnant. We look forward to what next. And I think there are a couple of things that if you could add on when you're walking on the stage, even though like we look forward to you, you can add on a few things. the left part of the section was missed out. You were not looking at any of them. You were mostly looking at the right side. I don't know if you were biased or it was just your stage. No, so it was, you were here, we were hooked to you. That was the quality of your speech, right? But it's your responsibility also that, hey, I would look at you and I'm gonna hook you just by expressing as well. So your speech was literally doing that, but you have to do as well. You have to engage all of the audience. And if possible, if you could be a little bit slower in your speech, slow down your pace so that let everybody consume you, let everybody go into shock. Oh, really? You seemed, oh, wow, in 60s, wow. So that was a little bit, it could enhance your speech to even next level. Slowing down the speech would be really good. And I also felt like, of course, it was your teaching experiences, but the structure could have been a bit better. What I mean by structure is, like there should be the top, middle, and the bottom. Right now in this speech, everything was middle, or say everything was bottom, or everything was top. But there were not distinction. You were transitioning from one part of your life to another, and then another, but it was monotonous. Rather, you should have been, hey, my life was cracked up, and then I bounced back, and then this is how I'm going. It could have been structured in a certain way, so that the consumers could consume it in a good way. Overall, really, it was really nice to hear such a good speech, and we would love to you be regular and come over here and do as many speeches as you can. If not anything, we definitely would learn life lessons from you, sir. Thank you so much for the speech.
The credit for this goes to Namita. Last time I said I want to get back. Talk about whatever you've been doing.
Yeah, thanks.
So, to evaluate your evaluation, first and foremost, I observed that you started with a recap, just bringing the audience back to what the speech was all about. So, that was done then. And also, that you followed a proper structure, commendation, recommendation, and commendation. The only feedback that I have for you is to, for example, your focus was on story. So, that I think if you're talking about in terms of the context of the story, so you can also add like you also talked about a specific improvement, but it would be better to deep dive into that specific item. For example, what you were trying to tell was about the hero's journey as such, with respect to your speech, which was about you start from a place and then there was some kind of an obstacle or challenge which drops you down, and then you rise up and then again wholeheartedly complete the circle. So in essence, either if you have a recommendation approach, it would be better if you just stick to one thing instead of like having multiple things. You're also talking about how the visual appeal in terms of how where you are looking at. Those are important points, but I think it is important just to focus on one point and others are like that. But I think it is just a nitpicking thing. You already covered those aspects. It's just a minor thing just to enhance and make it more detailed if you'd like. Otherwise, I think in general your evaluation was pretty good. Yes. Let's bring on stage now our next evaluator, and that role is being played by Toastmaster Hemant, and he is evaluating Toastmaster Pushpin.
Good afternoon to everyone. Pushpin, as always, you were fantastic. The speech was fantastic. When I initially heard the title, hello, am I talking to? I initially thought how this guy is going to relate this to the overall story. But at the end, everyone was able to relate to that. So I would like to start with, I really appreciate the authenticity and the rawness of this speech and the way you brought in the real life office conversation. How are you? What's your plan? Was highly relatable. Almost everyone in the audience had an instant connection with what you were saying. And coming on to the few of the things on which you said you wanted me to look into some criteria. So moving into one by one, structure and clarity. I think that it was all chronological, but I thought it was more of a collection of thoughts instead of I would say structural message. So that was the one point I thought to highlight. The second was the speech clarity and language. I realized that some of the sentences were repeated numerously, so that can be looked into. On the speed and control, it was good. Rhythm was good, but at some time it was uneven rhythm and slightly rushed at time. The fourth one, body language. It was good throughout the speech, but somewhere I saw uncontrolled hand gestures that I thought to highlight. The eye contact were really good, so I'll appraise you on that part. I would say the ending impact, everyone was clapping at the end of the speech, so I would say it was really fantastic. At the end of the day, I would say what stands is your thinking ability and the depth. You are questioning everything, you are questioning people, life, work, purpose. That is exactly makes the speaker memorable and thank you.
I would say overall good attempt by you, Toastmaster. I did notice that at some points you were very specific and at some points you were very vague and general. For example, most of your points are specific. One point was like your eye contact was good. I cannot interpret anything from that, right? Eye contact, you could have said that, okay, your eye contact was good because you were looking evenly at the audience and you were engaging with them. So that would have been a very specific and a useful thing to work with. So just try and avoid generals and try to be specific next time. I think you're done for the other pointers. Just be mindful you do with each and every pointer. Now let's move on to our next evaluator, and that role is being played by Toastmaster Bhavish, and he's evaluating Toastmasters of the year. Please give one. Thank you.
So, are you recording? Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, I'm here to evaluate Bhavya's speech. Thank you is what I'll accept. When it comes to clarity, you had more than myself. You had a very good opening question, which was engaging. You were involving everyone, which was a great thing to have. Otherwise, everybody just goes off. I found the clarity in speech was very much there. Not many people can pull that off. Very structured speech you had written. Good point. One good thing that I found in your speech was the kind of subject it is. If somebody would ask me of leadership styles, the first thing I'll do is not intentionally, but I'll sleep. So good storytelling that could keep people involved and interested in your story. When it comes to vocal variety, I did not find that you screamed at anyone, which is good. I'm just kidding. You did not scream at anyone. You had good cadence and you had good usage of pauses that made the speech very impactful. How you controlled your pauses was commendable. Eye contact. You weren't staring at any particular girl. There were two actually, but not one. Great eye contact, and you were looking everywhere around from this end of the spectrum to that, so that was uniform. There were points, okay, I'll come to the commentation later. Gestures, you were like a rock star on a tranquilizer, so you were very calm. Good confident stance on the stage, good hand gestures that you were doing, although there is something that I will bring up later. Audience awareness, the audience was fully aware, no one was sleeping, as far as I could see. You were resonating with the audience. Who was sleeping, sorry?
Sachin was yawning.
I may have missed that. Maybe because I was yawning. But and again, one thing that you kept hooked, people hooked was you had a great smile throughout your storytelling, which was again an amazing thing. Something that I could probably learn. I don't smile that often. I don't know why. You had a great comfort over the stage and with your speech, and I really love that comfortable, your comfort with speaking. Interesting storytelling again. Now, what things that you can probably work on is, although there was some modulation in the voice, but the monotony of the sound can be worked on. You can get it better. There were times when you were trying to recall the speech, so you were keeping your eyes, for even a fraction of a second, you were trying to think about that, so your eyes were, either you were looking down or you were closing your eyes. That is something that you probably can work on. Maybe have some hints or have a memory palace kind of a place where you go from one place to another, and you can do that. Apart from that, if you could remove your phone, because you didn't need to read anything from the phone. Sometimes what happens is when we have the phone in our hands, it restricts our movements and our gestures that you actually had. One hand of yours, which was free, you had a leadership style, very impactful. But certain times when you have the phone in your hand, you can restrict that. Apart from that, I think everything else was amazing. I found the storytelling was good cadence, modulation in speech, everything was good. And you were very confident. I loved the speech. Thank you so much.
Now to evaluate your evaluation, I found that I think you're experimenting with a little bit of humor in your evaluation, so that was very fresh and new to see. Other than that, I love that you were very comprehensive with respect to the whole spectrum of public speaking, each and every aspect you covered that, and you were very specific about it, so I really like that. There's only one thing that you can probably add to your evaluation, which is at the end, because there are so many things to take away from. Probably we can have a summary, which would be about 1 or 2 items that they can use it as a takeaway from the speech. So that is the only thing I would add. Otherwise, I think it was pretty good. Next, let's move on to our specific roles, which are auxiliary roles. And we'll be invited on stage first and foremost, Postmaster Sachin as the grammarian. Please give him a round of applause. So that's what was the word of the day? Mortify. So let him mortify us.
Thanks again. So the word of the day was used just by Pushpender.
And me, right now.
And him, of course, I know. And when I was going through the entire meeting, and this is a very good thing, I couldn't find any wrong uses of tenses or grammar, which is a good thing. Which tells like we are good at our grammar part. At least we don't speak wrong grammar. But that's not it yet. We speak normal grammar. And if you want to be stagnant, we can still use the normal grammar. But if you want to elevate your speech, you have to use a bit better words, something better grammar, which I think people miss out on using. Would have these words, or like if you see the learning of the grammar part in your school or back in young days, probably we go from tenses and then at the end we reach out to prepositions and then conjunctions. And what happens, I've seen, like we miss out on the last 2 or 3 things. Like conjunctions, we really don't know like what is that and where to use that. And that's where we are missing out on. We are good in normal stuff, shall, he, would, can, good enough. But to elevate on the top of that, I think I have a challenge for you guys. Go on YouTube or go on the internet and find advanced use of grammar. And see how much do you know about that. I don't have like specific word, like particular sentences of grammar that could have been, I don't recall that exactly at this moment, but there are good uses of grammar, and let's elevate our speeches or the daily learning that we have, our vocabulary and whatever story that we have, let's elevate it by learning something new. And if possible, in the next meeting, if somebody will have learned a good advanced sentence or a good sentence or a good grammar, let's bring it out in the next speech or next meeting, and maybe just write it on the board. Doesn't matter which role you are playing, or even if you are not playing a role, let's write it down on the board so that we can learn about it. All of my point, like everything is, if you not keep on adding your x in the function f of x, you would be stagnant, you wouldn't be going beyond. So let's do that and enhance ourselves. Thanks.
Now to evaluate you, Sachin, first and foremost, good choice of word of the day and idiom of the day. So that these are like very useful and new words. One thing I would like to add is that I was expecting some good specific usages that was used today. So if you could have highlighted I think there was a huge opportunity in terms of people must have presented some other good words or good usages. Maybe highlighting those would have been much more fruitful as well. In terms of the problematic words or the phrases, I think even highlighting those also would have been useful, but it was more generic in terms of your presentation. I would have expected something more specific. That's my takeaway. Now let's move on to our next role, the role of our counter, and being played by Toastmaster Hill. Please give a round of applause. Extra clap for you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Today I play the role of our counter, and I'm very happy that people used very few these filler words. So if I say one by one, Pushpender used these filler words, repeat and word 3 times. Ajay Mehra used 2 times, so 2 times, and then 3 times. Bhavya used only once, so this is the best. Then I'd say Ishita used once. Grammy and Sachin used once. Then I would say evaluator 1. Sachin used twice. Then twice. I myself used twice and twice. Nabita used twice, twice. So that's my report. Thank you.
I think that was comprehensive and something that would have been expected. You could have also highlighted the general patterns that you have observed as a whole in the meeting. Are people using too many So what is the typical pattern? So if you can highlight that, we can work on that. And also what can be a counter to that. For example, if you have projecting, say, you are using clutch words, it is a symptom rather than actually the problem. It symbolizes that either you are not prepared or you have fear of standing on the stage, you're not comfortable with it. That's why probably you're just filling it with the word instead of just living in the silence. So these are some of the aspects and techniques that we can use to actually solve this problem. Now let's go into the fun round, which is the KBC round of our meeting, which is of active listener, and I hope we have some very controversial questions. So I'll be inviting on stage Toastmaster Ashwin. Yes,
I'll try my best. Controversial, I'm not sure. They're very simple questions. Okay, so question number 1 is
this side versus this side.
Okay, can you please say versus this side? Namita, you're not allowed to answer this, but who founded Toastmasters?
Oh, I'm meeting with something.
For me, it was clear. What are the 4 values of Toastmaster I cannot allow?
I can cook integrity, respect, service excellence.
No, you are
You are
Okay. Okay, so 2 points.
Yeah.
Come on, 0 point.
0.
One.
Okay, one. Okay. What is the passion of Ajay Mehra sir?
Photography.
Okay.
2-1.
When Pushpender was sitting idle at a Monday morning, what question popped in his head?
What is my life?
What is the purpose of my life?
Yeah, she answered first. 2 all. What is the name of the girl who called Pushpender?
Divya.
Okay. Which company did she work for? Okay. Apart from failure, what is the other fear of Namita?
Darkness.
What is the leadership style of Bhavya?
Innovative.
He said 2 words, innovative and?
Yeah.
Nobody knows that.
No. Yeah, exactly.
I'm still Which is about that.
Full marketing enough.
Yeah, but nobody knows about that.
What was it, Bhavya?
Innovative and coaching.
Coaching, yes. Yeah. I also wrote innovative. I didn't know what it was. But I was like, no, what is the name of the ghost haunting Namita? Which card does Pushpendra's
Balino. Black Balino.
2022 model.
Extra bonus.
Thank you, that was fun but not controversial enough. So that's okay. Better luck next time. But otherwise, it was a good job done. We expect the same in every case. Now let's move on to the last role player, and that is the role of timer. And we'll invite Stage Toastmaster Sailesh, the dreamer. The sleeper.
First speaker,
Attention guys.
Ajay Manera has taken 6 minutes 52 seconds. Pushpendra has taken 6 minutes 15 seconds, and Bhavya has taken 5 minutes 53 seconds. And coming to the table topics, Bhavesh and Saurav have taken around 3 minutes 20 seconds. Sorry, it was my fault not using slides. Sorry. And Aparna and Kritika have taken 2 minutes 18 seconds. Namita and Bhavesh have taken 2 minutes 51 seconds. Pushpendra and Vishwajit has taken 2 minutes 23 seconds. And evaluator one Sachin has taken 4 minutes 31 seconds, the lengthiest of all. At that point I was actually waiting, will his evaluation be more than Ajay Mehra sir's speech? But I was not very happy with that. Then Hemant has taken 2 minutes 5 seconds, the shortest. Then we have Bhavesh who has taken 3 minutes 38 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. So now to evaluate the meeting as a whole, first and foremost, my general observations. We started at 10:45, 10 late, and we are also running late. And the good aspects was that first and foremost, SAR did set up the ground rules to be followed for the meeting so that we can have a beautiful and fruitful meeting. So that was done well. Our presidents did set the context of the club, what is it about, and also had good guest introduction. So that was done well. And I also observed that when our president transited from president to Timor, the introduction was quite good, better than other introductions that I have noticed. One general point I have for everyone to follow is that we are just jumping off the stage before handing the stage over to the other person. So you need to just wait for the person to come and step up, handshake, hand it over, and then basically the idea is them to never leave the stage empty. But I have seen in the whole meeting a couple of times the stage was empty and we're not transitioning properly. So just be mindful of this activity. Now let's look at our teamwork rule. First and foremost, what I tried was the build up and the wind down. So whenever a speech starts, before that you're creating a build up, and once the speech is done, winding it down and then going back to your topic. So that was done quite well. I think that is how it is to be done, instead of just being abrupt about it. So a good example that you have said. Also, this topic that you have here, which is very relatable and people can understand, unlike some ridiculous topics that I pick up. So this was a good topic that you have picked and very relatable, I must say. And now let's look at our table topic master. Okay, this was a fun one. So, improv. It was improv and it was very controversial. It had ample opportunity to do that kind of stuff, so it was very entertaining. First and foremost, it was, I would say, not to say easy, but it was something, it was a little challenging, but also workable. That's that you saw a good amount of participation and it went in the right positive direction. But you have to be mindful of, I think you did make a good choice by inviting on stage initially some experienced people so that you can set the tone. If the tone is not set here, correctly, it can go in the wrong direction. But overall, I would say it was a very innovative way of having a conversation and a situation. And these were easy and people were so excited. I think everyone would have participated. So it was done very well. I think you have a great success over here. with that, I think I'll be closing my evaluation and let's bring on stage back our presiding officer, Toastmaster.
Thank you for the elaborate evaluation. And yes, we need to work upon our time, but I'm so grateful that we were able to figure out the venue and reach. So let's just discount our day for starting quite late. But let's try to end on time. So you would have got the forms on your WhatsApp groups. Please do take some time to fill that up and choose your best performers. Do we need to do a hands up or is it okay?
We can do one hands up for the guests benefit.
Okay, so there would be categories of best speaker. So I'll just call out the name and the speaker can raise their hand and please look at the face of the speaker before voting if you want to. So Toastmaster Pushpendra, the tallest guy. Toastmaster Ajameda, he just stepped out. Toastmaster Bhavya. For evaluators, Toastmaster Hemant. Toastmaster Sachin. Toastmaster Bhavish. We have removed your names. For the role players, it's TMOD, Toastmaster Nandita, TTM, Toastmaster Ishita. Then for auxiliary role players, primarily Toastmaster Sachin again. Sachin, timer Toastmaster Sailesh, showing the red card. Our counter Toastmaster Hemant. And active listener Toastmaster Ashwara. Alright, please cast your votes and meanwhile I can move on to taking some feedbacks. So we can start with you. How did you find the meeting?
I think it's a great platform for people, especially I'm talking about the new one. So people who want to even do well by enhancing their public speaking skills. And I think the way the entire format has been designed is quite I think very well put. So to speak.
Thank you.
I mean, for me, the speeches were like quite good to hear. Like, they have a lot of variety from lifetime experiences from sir. So I think the speeches were nice. Also, the entire format, everything has to be something in time-bound manner. So, where there is a chance for it to spill over. When you are on stage, you naturally want to speak a lot, and then the audience also want to contribute. So there are chances that we exceed the time.
Yeah.
But it's all done in a very timely manner. So it was too right, and I think we'll have to win the space someday. So.
Definitely.
I think there are a lot of things to learn from it. A lot of good speeches with humor, with experience. Also, I think if I join here, it will be a great opportunity for me to speak up in front of a lot of people and to boost up my confidence. That's also going to be a good point for me. So, I feel good by having here.
Thank you. Anything from you? I think in the interest of time, we can have your introduction and your feedback also for the meeting since we missed your introduction in the beginning.
I'm Akash. So I find it very useful, and what features I see incorporated is very different over here. People are smiling, having fun as well, and the way they are speaking it is very different. It is not monotonous, which is very good, which I think I have learned here coming to here. And also it is also a formulating way where you are documenting everything so that everyone get to know what is their weakness and what all things they can improve and what all things are good about them. So this is very good, timing and everything. So it is well structured, which I find very good over here, which I thought that this would be like this here. I thought it would be like speaking on various topics, type of thing, but it is good. So yeah, I'm looking forward for it.
Glad we exceeded the expectations.
Yeah.
All right. Forms, do we have the results? If not, we can get so best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Aishwarya. She has left. Best role player goes to me.
फोटो तो कर लो हाँ अपने सर में ये तो सेल्फी
मैं तो ये कैसे
सेल्फी
Oh, I forgot.
ओए भव्या तुम सिंगल हाथ से दोनों ऐसा लग रहा है कि नमिता आपको दे दी
और मैं किसी का कॉल चलेगा वो तो पता नहीं ऐसे ही चल रहा है ऐसा ना टग ऑफ वॉर
Best table topics speakers, Toastmaster Bhavya and GTMC Saurabh. वो किया ना?
मजा आ गया लोगों को I have some extra you want some
Okay.
ऐसा लग रहा है कि सब
excuse actually I should not be allowed to get this but ठीक है
इशिता ने इसकी आप ले
सही बात है situationally
So, best evaluator is Toastmaster Bhavesh. And best speaker is Divya from Bajaj Finance.
भाई आपका तो अल्ट्रा वाइड में लेना पड़ेगा या